Welcome, podcast fans. It's time for the What's Up Bro podcast show presented by J&J Production Studios, the home for all your entertainment needs. All kinds of great topics discussed every week, a variety of different themes offered, special guest appearances, prize giveaways, and so much more. Stay tuned. And now, here are your hosts, Sam Crow and Big Hoss.
Everybody, happy Saturday to you all. It is Saturday, September 14th. This episode has been specially pre-recorded for you guys, and it's a bonus surprise because if you guys have been following us, you know we had been announcing that there would be no episode tonight. We were going to take the night off, which we technically still are because obviously this has been pre-recorded for your entertainment, but we didn't want to leave you guys hanging. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend, all kinds of fun surprises. Obviously, you caught us last night, Friday night's episode, we were live. If you missed it, too, check out, we were on, obviously, I was on Pod Squad. Thursday night's episode, check it out. We'll drop the link there. It is on social media. We're going to share it around as well. But for tonight, we didn't want to leave you hanging, and been wanting to do this. You guys might know this if you're new here or haven't been with us for too long. We'll share why. We were slept to, myself and Big Hoss. It would be another reappearance for me on Vigilante's Radio Live with our good friend Dini hosting the show. Big Hoss, unfortunately, was sick that day, didn't make it, but I made the appearance, so I had a chance to go back on there. We did share the link to that episode, but sometimes not everybody sees that, and we wanted to ensure you got a chance to hear it, and if you're following us, you know you can definitely hear it here. So, tonight, we are going to play that episode for you guys to share with you to ensure you actually got a chance to hear it. It was a lot of fun, as always. Always enjoy the opportunity to talk to Dini and be a part of the show. It was a great show, had a lot of fun, so hope you guys will enjoy that. So that is going to give you your entertainment. Perfect timing for that for the weekend and plenty more. So we're going to just shortly here play a quick commercial break and then get right to it. But just a couple of quick announcements we do want to share. Obviously, we've been sharing. We're going to share we have shared last night too. But just for you guys to know too, we have some upcoming things soon. We are going to be having our themed episodes for our seasonal episodes coming up. We're almost through the month of September. Halloween starts. Halloween month in October is going to begin our seasonal holiday episodes. Hope you guys are excited. We are. It's going to be awesome. It's always a fun time. So make sure you guys check those out. We also have, and we are still working to reschedule, having Verka Partakova on with us, MMA fighter, Kung Fu, and academic coach. We are working on that. We have tentative dates for that coming up. We'll share with you guys soon. And who else knows what kind of surprises we have. And if you also notice, we've been getting more content out, bonus content for you guys. We are trying to change our format and make sure that we are giving you the best entertainment possible as often as possible. So that's sort of our direction we're going now. So hopefully you guys will be enjoying that. Plenty more to come, and make sure you stay tuned. And of course, as always, check us out, linktree.com/J_J Production Studios. Follow us all across social media. All of the streaming platforms where our podcast shows can be found and featured, you can get there. Our YouTube channel, you can subscribe there and get notified when episodes are coming up. You can also listen to episodes on our official website, jnjproductionstudios.com. Check that out today as well. Some other fun surprises there, which you guys can discover for yourselves there, available today as well. As far as that goes, I think that's everything. What do we have coming up on the docket? Let's see. Oh, yes, one final announcement before we get ready to take a break here and get into the show. So next weekend, the weekend of the 20th and the 21st, Big Hoss will be on vacation. I'm hoping to get some other... we might have our good friend Austin, a.k.a. Mr. Bass, Mr. B, possibly joining us. We might do a game corner next weekend one day if scheduling permits. We'll figure something out. We'll have some stuff for you guys, but it's going to be a little bit of a different show, so Big Hoss has a chance to go on a little trip. He's going to take that, but then, of course, we'll be back as always afterwards. So just a quick heads up there. There is a possibility, too, if we don't find much, we might take a break that weekend, too. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. We'll try to find something. But I promise you guys, we always make something work for you, so we will have always something available. Just not sure quite what we're going for yet, but if we know ahead of time, we'll make sure to update you guys on that as well. So, with that being said, I won't delay it any longer because this episode actually pretty much takes up our whole show time for the evening, so we'll be a few minutes over. But I do want to play a commercial for you guys. Obviously, get everything set up and ready to go. A perfect chance for you guys now to, if you haven't before the show started or before you played this, get a snack, go to the bathroom, get yourself situated, because this is going to be a fun episode. So buckle up, listen to it. It's incredible. It's amazing. Hope you'll enjoy that. So we're going to take a short break here, and then as soon as the break and the commercials are over, it's going to jump right into the episode, which we hope you guys will enjoy. Stay tuned for that. But, of course, as always, love being here with the weekends for you guys, always providing the best content. We love you all so much, and thank you, of course, as always, for your continued support. We appreciate that, and we love and appreciate each and every one of you. So, with that being said, let's take a short break. We'll be right back for more. Stay tuned. As soon as it comes back in, the episode will start. Hope you guys enjoy it. We will see you then, of course, next weekend. Of course, as always, hope to see you at the show live. If not, you can listen to these episodes, the rebroadcast, when they're available. So, for all of us here, of course, at J&J Production Studios, we wish you all, too, a very happy and healthy weekend. Be safe, and come back very, very soon. Enjoy the episode, guys. We'll be back live soon. We'll see you then, right after that. Stay tuned. My appearance on Vigilante's Radio, coming up right after this.
Hey there! Enjoying the show? Do you want even more great content? Then check out linktree.com/J_J Production Studios, where you'll find everything you need for the entertainment you deserve, such as links to your favorite streaming services where our podcast shows are featured. Find and connect with us on your favorite social media and live streaming platforms. The official studio channel on YouTube. Like and subscribe today. Our official studio store where you can find all kinds of great merchandise. Would you like to support us? You can do so by getting your own exclusive membership on our Patreon account. Do you want to ensure you don't miss a single bit of detailed information? Then have it sent directly to you by joining our emailing list. Stay up to date on all the latest from J&J Production Studios. Thank you so much for listening. We love and appreciate all your support, and until next time, we'll see you at the show.
We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
Hey there, do you love podcasts? Are you having difficulty finding the right ones to listen to? Is it frustrating when you're trying to pick that show? You know, the one where everyone must collectively agree on? Like finding a good movie or TV show to watch, do you look for the most jam-packed entertainment that's possible to find in a single episode every week? Then search no more, and welcome to J&J Production Studios. It's our business to provide the best entertainment and information available for you. Whether you're sitting in that comfy chair with your favorite snack and beverage listening live each week, or downloading your favorite show episodes to take with you on the go while you're at work, exercising, or even just to play at night for you to fall asleep to. There's something for everyone, no matter what size, shape, or age you are. Visit www.linktree.com/J_J Production Studios to find all the streaming services where our podcast shows can be found. You can also connect with us on your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter. You can join our public Discord server and chat directly with us. But wait, there's more. You can subscribe to our official YouTube channel and be notified every time a new show is broadcast. Wish you could have some studio souvenirs or collectibles? Guess what? You can. Visit the official store where you can purchase items featuring your favorite podcast and show hosts. Would you like to help support us? You can do that by getting your very own exclusive membership on our Patreon account. All proceeds go to help us upgrade our shows, which will only enhance the entertainment provided to you. Thank you so much. We're excited to have you as an audience. Your love and support are always appreciated. We'll see you soon.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Win or lose, every bet brings you closer to the perks only Caesars can offer. Hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code IHEART1000 and place your first bet. If you lose, you'll get it back in a bonus bet up to $1,000. Open to New users in Pennsylvania or 21 or older. Affiliated with Harris, Philadelphia. If qualifying bet loses, bet amount returned as a bonus bet. Bonus bet expires 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promotions for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
In just a minute, you can light up a child's world. Imagine being the force that shifts a young life from struggle to triumph. Children's Specialized Hospital Foundation calls on you to make this change. 1 in 5 children lives with a chronic illness affecting their potential. Your generosity directly helps these brave kids all across New Jersey. Be a child's hero. Contribute today at give2csh.org. That's give2csh.org. It takes less than a minute to change a child's life.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome back again. You're listening to Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Dini. We have another special guest for you guys, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, text your family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. This is actually my first Friday back podcasting. I haven't podcasted on a Friday for like 10 years. Well, no, not 10 years. Let's say 7 years. No, let's say 5 years. I've been married for 5 years. So when I got married, I gave up my weekends podcasting. That was a agreement I had with my wife, and just recently we had another conversation. It's like, hey, can I open my weekends back up? She's like, you know what? Yeah, that's cool. You can open your weekends back up to podcasting. So here I am, good folks, back on a Friday night. Let's get to it. So before I bring my guest on, I do want to say that you have to have well-founded confidence. How is it possible to move confidently towards the future after experiencing a disappointing setback? By learning from that disappointment and knowing that you can adjust your approach accordingly. If confidence resulted only from success, no one would ever have the confidence to reach success in the first place. If all confidence, there is necessarily an element of faith, and certainly past successes can add to your confidence, but past disappointments do not have to erode that confidence, because you have the wonderful ability to improve with each effort. You can make the adjustments and apply the lessons you've learned through experience, and those valuable lessons are yours to use in a positive way, no matter what has happened before. The powerful fact is that every experience can add to your confidence. The cheers, the sneers, the hate, the compliments, and the complaints, the wins, the losses, they all build confidence. So take the best from what has happened and add the best of what can be. Move positively forward with realistic, well-founded, ever-increasing confidence. Take that from me, Coach Dini. That is my word. Are you ready?
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
All right. What is up? You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio. And I am your host, Dini. Our interviews are designed to go beyond the music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these awesome human beings. You know, the ones that were out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we have the pleasure of welcoming a powerhouse podcast host to Vigilantes Radio Live. You know him. Sam Crow have taken the podcasting world by storm by delivering fresh entertainment that's full of humor, controversy, and candid conversations. His dynamic energy, along with his co-host Big Hoss, and the no-holds-bar approach have earned them a dedicated following. So please join me in saying welcome, friend, to the hilarious and the unstoppable Sam Crow. Yo, what is up, bro? No pun intended.
No, it's all good. How are you? Dini? It's good to see you, or hear you, rather.
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So, man, the question of the month is, what has been on your heart and mind lately?
Oh dear, that's a great question. Honestly, it's a lot about life, thinking about reflection and where I've been going, where I've come from, where I'm trying to get to. Just a lot of self-reflection too. Nothing's ever easy, nothing's ever perfect, and it's always good to take a moment, step back and try to pick apart those moments where you try to piece together your life story and manner of speaking. So I think that's for me, and obviously getting older too puts perspective on things, I think, for all of us, naturally. But yeah, it's really been a staple for me to think a lot lately, because, and I know it sounds funny, and people who see me know me like, you're not super old. No, but older than I've been, and where I came from before, so it does cause you to really truly just kind of self-examine yourself, where you are, where you're coming from. So that's really been, I think, a huge thing that's been weighing on me, at least as of late, most recently.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat, man. A lot of self-reflection, and I think it's just because I'm getting old.
yeah, I feel you. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm getting old, man, so I'm reflecting.
Yeah, me too. We all get there. It's gonna happen. I'm trying to embrace it though too. I'm trying not to be afraid of it. A lot of people tell you, you got to be afraid of it, but I've also heard, and I'm more of a believer, if you accept it and you ride that wave, it'll go much easier for you. So I tend to lean that direction myself personally. So it does seem to help in some aspects.
Got you. Man, so I have 3 burning questions from listeners, and I kind of been like recycling the questions the entire month. Mm-hmm. So, question number 1: if reincarnation was real, which animal would you come back as, and why?
Let's see. This is a good one, because I've had a couple that I would think about over the years, and it's so tough because you try to find that universal animal, which of course there's not such a thing. If I had to come back though, there's a couple ways I could go with it, but I actually, and this is one of my favorite prehistoric creatures, I would come back as a megalodon myself personally. And I think because the biggest allure, other than it being one of the largest prehistoric creatures the world has seen living in the ocean, the king of the ocean, I think is because it's greatly respected and feared, and very few predators, obviously dominating in the ocean, which there could be a lot of scary things too, but you are kind of the big scary thing. I think that's kind of the allure there, but I don't know, it's just something about it, and having that top of the food chain feel, like literally, like you are it, like there's really not much left to it, I think is a huge for me. I would do that, and again, I could go a lot of different ways, but that would be the one I would pick if I went right off the top of my head.
Okay, a megalodon. I would be a cat. Meow.
Yeah, that works too. Again, I can say that too. You get pros and cons. It's kind of, my mood might change next week, but that's where I'm at currently. So,
man, I've had a bunch of cats in my lifetime, and they're just crazy animals, man. Phenomenal.
They do have the life too. So yeah, there's that.
Entitled, Oh
yeah, they rule the roost. Yep, that's for sure.
Second question: if your life was a Netflix series, what would you title the first episode, and what would it be about?
Oh boy, the first episode. Actually, okay, I would say if I had to title the first episode, I would title it An Epic Journey. Because obviously it's going to be starting there. And depends on how long we're talking now. If it's a half an hour special, I don't know if I could cram it in. If it's an hour episode or 45 minutes. But we'll say that I would try to have it describe as much detail about me, which again doesn't sound super exciting, but when you break it down at least, just to at least get a good launching pad for where the series could go, whether that's 10 episodes or 20 episodes. Do I get renewed for a second season type? Well, I have to finish the first season to see if people like it. But that's where I would start it, and I really would want to paint the canvas and leave groundwork for folks to say, you know what, this is the blueprint. This is, I guess, more or less highlights for the life there, and kind of leave them on a cliffhanger of, are they going to be sucked in where they want to see the next episode? Do they crave the next episode? And is it really, what's the word? Does it really entice you? Does it really draw you in? And is it that exciting? Which I would hope so. But again, it's hard for me because it's about my life, and I'm always super critical about myself too. So it's kind of hard to have an objective opinion about it. But I would like to think that I could make it captivating enough where it could reach out a wide range of an audience that maybe do 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I guess we'll see what's in the budget too. So I guess that's there. But that's how I would start it anyway. Go there.
All right. And question number 3. Can you do any voice impersonations or accents? And if so, can you give us a sample?
Let's see. I was practicing these because I've been listening to a lot of these folks on YouTube and other places. Let's see. I've been told it's not bad. Let's see if I can do a little Peter Griffin. I can't do the voice. I can laugh. Let's see if I can do the laugh for you if I can. Let's try this. I'll do the laugh. It's Peter Griffin. Little bit of Quagmire. I can do some of the catchphrases. So let's see. Oh, right. Giggity. I like where this go. Oh, giggity. Let's see if there's any others. Those are the ones I try out usually lately. It's just, I don't know, you kind of sit there and you work on them. I can kind of do. Oh, I know. I've been told this is a favorite one. So I do like a lot of Adam Sandler films, a lot of great films. I was actually taunting this one up the other day for folks who said that's really good. So if anybody who hasn't seen it, Adam Sandler in The Waterboy, I've been told it's pretty good. So let me see. It's a line from the movie. What's a good line there? Okay, we'll do this one. Quality H2O. My mama said that water is the most important thing for the body. That it'll help me through the course of the day, and I can find myself and I can be helpful. That's why I joined the football team, because I think it's important that the squad run on the water, because they can't play the football if they're not hydrated. Hydration is very important. And I also told Mama I like girls. I met Nikki Valancourt, and she showed me her boobies, and I liked them.
Man, that was good.
Well, thank you. I tried.
Wow. I didn't know that about you, Sam Crow. You're a voice impersonator.
A little bit. It depends. Again, I find like if I listen long enough, and I think it depends on the level of the vibrato of the voice too, but I think it's because I watch a lot of TV, I've seen a lot of movies. I think over time it's sort of like absorbed in my head like a sponge. And somehow, I always felt like voice actors, and they have a natural talent. Obviously, there's so many people that can do it. I wouldn't count myself as the greatest or the best. There's plenty of people that do it, but I think if you listen enough and you really you practice it, practice makes perfect too. I think a lot of people could imitate, and you can clearly tell. Obviously, like I said, I've watched enough Adam Sandler films and I've heard him do different dialects that, and I try to just sort of play with it. Like, I don't know, I know people say there's technique to it, but I'm like, I just kind of, I just start doing it. Like, I know he has like the speech thing, so it's, you just kind of like tuck with your lips there and your tongue a little bit. You got to get in there and just, like a porky pig, you got to get the stuff in there. It kind of, and I was playing with it, and I'm like, that's actually better than I thought. I didn't think it sounded good initially because I had to try it, but once I did it, and then now it becomes so regular that I can just jump into it, as you can tell. So I think a lot of people, if you want to do it, listen at home, try it. You might surprise yourself how many voices you actually know. So there you go.
Yeah. Man, did you watch Prison Break?
I haven't actually. I do see it out there. I'll have to check it out. I know it's been on my watch list there. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a character, Theodore. Man, what is his last name? I can't remember his last name, but he has this like phenomenal dialect. It's like old Southern.
Okay.
Yeah,
yep.
Like old Southern accent.
Yeah. I could do like it's not good. I do practice a little like I think the closest Southern I could do is the foghorn leghorn. Boy. I said, boy. I said, you're getting yourself in trouble there, boy, over on that pile there. Southern one's not my cup of tea, but I do like to listen to them. So I just don't do very well. And I say this is my big theory. There's a lot of great actors out there, a lot of great European actors. They do wonderful American accents. We as Americans do horrible European accents, okay? So I don't know how people feel, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but it's just true. If you ever heard some American actors are good, but the European accents are really hard. I do not even dare try them because it's just, it's ridiculous. So for me anyway. But, I give props if you can do it. That's wonderful, but it's difficult. I can see why dialect coaches are really important for those folks.
I don't really find them all that difficulty.
Well, that's not European, though. That's more, what is that? Is that Indian? Like an Indian accent there?
Yeah, Indian.
See, no, it's not. It's easy. I could do it. I'm from AT&T. I can call. Not to be, no offense to anybody. Some of those are, a little bit more, I don't think they take as much. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's and again, we actually technically, the Americans have the accent, not the English do. That's the King's English that was spoken there, but it's just the way, I think, with the throat and the vocals and how you move things around. I think that's what really plays a feature. And some people have, like, they're double jointed, or they have extra skin, or they're able to kind of Kenny, what's his last name? That does the voice of SpongeBob with the whole yanking on the throat to get the I can't really do it, but like there's just unique ways to like really get those sounds in there, and people get really creative. I mean, it's if you watch like behind the scenes stuff, it's incredible. I've seen a few of those. It's really, you can't, like, that sound comes out of that person just by doing this. I mean, it's really interesting. So that was a good one, though. I like that, though. You didn't seem like you strained yourself too much. That's wonderful.
Absolutely, man. So on your podcast, you guys are known for, being raw, unfiltered. There is no script.
Nope.
So you kind of just, do you guys have like talking points, or you just wing it? Whatever happens that week, that's what you talk about.
Yeah, generally, now like the theme show, which I'll do one actually later tonight there, just for our audience who normally hears us on Friday, but I'm actually doing a new episode, a shameless plug here. The review show is coming out. Spoiler, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Deadpool and Wolverine film. So when we do things like that, obviously there's some bullet points I like to cover. When we do the sports show, I try to look for topics that are relevant, whether we're talking football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever. Try to find at least some of the big stories that are highlights from the day. But with shows like with the What's Up Bro show, our main show, and the Game Corner, and even this little side corners like Colorado Music and Live Streaming with Big Hoss, Chilling with Sam Crow, our own little individuals, like little chill out corners, we just sort of roll with it. And we kind of, we love having guests come on. Obviously that makes the show, and a lot of times our guests will, for those that might have heard us before, we've had a lot of great guests recently too. the show just sort of morphs and mutates as we go. We have a kind of a thought of where the show might go, but and that's kind of what I said about the recent interview we did. We had our special guest, Mickey, who is a voice actor and frontman for the band Mickey and the Doom, who we had on last weekend. I kind of had an idea where I wanted the show to go, but as we started, she kind of just took over the mic and she ran with it. And some of the things, like I had some bullet points I wanted to ask. Like we did talk about her band and some of her voice acting projects, things like that. But just weird things that came out. Like we were chatting like we were, friends talking on a Sunday afternoon, like, talking video games, and we're talking these crazy conspiracy theories, the zombie outbreaks, things like that, which is not what I was expecting. Like it took a hard left. But it was funny because you kind of just, you roll with it, and the confidence was there, and I'm just like, I'm taking a back seat. She's pretty much driving the show. So it kind of, it's hit or miss, and sometimes it's also based on what's been happening in life for us. Sometimes, usually since the show's on a weekend, what's our week been like? Like I've shared a lot of shows on the weekend, like, we're just exhausted. It's been a long week. A lot of you guys might be able to relate, whether that's work schedules, whether that's family, whatever at the moment. So it really just kind of like we go with the flow, we feel it, and we see how it begins to develop, which most cases it happens pretty fast. And once it goes, we're in, we're all in, there's no turning back. So, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of the above. So we always tell folks, tune in, it's going to be a bumpy ride sometimes.
Yeah. Man, what's the wildest thing you've ever said on a podcast that made you kind of, man, should we really have said that?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. There was one. Oh, dear. What were we? Oh, actually, yeah. I think it was one of the earlier episodes back in the day when we started. We have, and again, I know a lot of you guys have been on shows, mixed with some of the other folks that we know there. We're always conscientious about whether we're on screen. Obviously, with podcasts, we're audio, but a lot of times we utilize devices or programs like Zoom and things where we can see each other. But there's instances where you kind of forget sometimes. If you're really, we get into it, we have a good time, and I think we were talking, and obviously you have met Dave Haas there. Hopefully we'll get him back at some point. He likes to have his pre-show things that he likes to do, and sometimes during the show, if you will. And we were talking, and I don't remember what the topic was and how it changed, but we actually said like live on the air, like in detail what was happening like on camera, which we forgot that people can't see us. And then I thought to myself, ooh, I don't know. And again, it's to each his own, but like at the same time, we're trying to be conscientious too. So I'm like, I don't know if it was a complete slip of the tongue. Like, is that gonna be?
Hey, it's Jason Williams from Amy's Garage, the Lehigh Valley's #1 dealer for cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs below $9,999. So with $199 down, you get $199 a month. Go to 199drives.com.
All payments for 17 months term, 5.99% APR with approved credit, plus taxes and tags. See dealer for details.
We had the appetizer last week. Now it's time to feast. College football is back. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a full slate of games for Week 1, including the big matchup in Atlanta between the preseason #1 and #16. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. Enjoy the ride, now all the way through the expanded playoffs. Plus, all newbies getting into the college football spirit, here's something extra special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code IHEART. That's code IHEART for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms or responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
Something that I'm going to regret later, and I actually went back to listen to the episode later, and I'm kind of like, well, it doesn't sound too bad. Are people going to notice it? Maybe. I think it's just in the moment, it's like ooh, that was like, I really should have thought before I said something. So, it does happen, but, I think in general, we put that warning disclaimer out for some episodes. You know, if you're not over 18, you know, you got to watch because, and again, it's more so not even us, like for guests and other things that happen. But that was probably the most interesting one that I can recall offhand, and I'm sure there'll be more in the future, but that's the one I feel like I might not live down for quite a while. But no letters or anything from anybody that pointed it out, so might have dodged a bullet. I'll have to find out, see.
Yeah, that was my next question. Did you get any backlash for it?
So far, no, and the more thing we're concerned of, and I know we talked about before, like when we add the shows, like when we do shows like the review shows, and I'll just use that as an example because I actually prefaced that I have the show set for tonight a little bit later, but we put in there that, you know, obviously we're going to talk a little about the new film, the Deadpool Wolverine movie, but most people probably have seen it or know enough about it by now. It's been in theaters for almost a month, but still conscientiously saying what we're going to cover here is going to probably open up major spoilers if you are not familiar with it or haven't seen trailers or actually seen the movie, and it's sharing opinions. So if you don't think, or you think this might ruin things for you, if you want to be really surprised, don't listen to the episode. I'm putting that out there, like, right up front, because I feel like a lot of times, and I use other shows, for example, for, you know, inspiration of how do they set their shows up, and maybe you may not be surprised how many people actually don't use that warning feature. I'm sure they probably get a lot of backlash, so I figure the best probably policy is to be upfront with folks there. And so far it shows, you know, obviously nobody gives blowback. We've had no blowback on social media or anything where people usually listen or find us. So fingers crossed. Obviously, you know, there's always a first time for everything, but we're hoping that it won't be a gut punch, if you will, I guess, if you want to put it that way. So
yeah, I've thought about it, and I don't use that tag on Pod Squad at all, even though I think we should.
Well, you know what, though? I was going to say, if you're going to when you mention that, the way, though, that the show is baseline and the personalities that are there, I honestly, and this is just my opinion, I know I'm biased because I'm part of and on the show, for those that might have seen me on there too now recently, most recently, I feel like that's really what makes it. That's really what draws people in. It's just a bunch of different personas that are collectively, you know, we're talking about different topics, you know, engaging in game time, doing different things. I think that's what really makes the show for me. That's what I've been getting out of it the more I've been doing it and been part of that. And I think I think it's key. I don't think every show could pull that off, because that's like a true wing, it's almost like a winging it approach where, you know, there's topics and there's itemization of what's going to happen, but a lot of it is raw. You don't know who's going to say what. It's almost like America's Funniest Home Videos or Whose Line Is It Anyway moment where, you know, and sometimes even the last episode yesterday or last night, you know, some of the things, like we're getting off the crazy train a little bit, but I think it breaks the tension, you know, it kind of helps get people like laugh at themselves and really see like, hey, you know, everybody's down to earth and we're just having a good time. So I would think if you were to put that disclaimer, now unless you're going to get feedback, or blowback from it, which I'm assuming hasn't happened yet, I would say, you know, why rock the boat? Why push it? The formula is working. So as long as that continues to bring that magic each week, I think it's safe to say it's a good thing that it'll work for a lot of people, which is great for me, obviously, in my opinion. So,
thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, man. It can get crazy, you know. We could say some things and play some clips that may incite fear or
I still have nightmares, a few of those, yeah.
Paranoia, you know. But the overall goal is to really just make people think or hear different perspectives.
Yeah, yep.
Or discover something that they didn't know and research it.
Yeah, you know, I told even SK, we were talking about after the show, and I'm like, you know, that segment on the herb of the week, I think was the segment, or, you know, there, and I'm like, I actually learned a new thing about that, and I wasn't being funny about it. Like, I never knew that was an actual herb, so that's something I took away that I actually looked up a little bit on my own, like, what is it commonly used for, and what's, you know, what could it be cooked with, and, you know, so there's really interesting little nuggets of information that I think is also important in the show's tapestry there, because it's having fun, but at the same time you're learning some stuff, and we all learn from each other, and we each bring something unique to the table, of course. But yeah, I think when you have that kind of a blended formula, and I always say it too, like with a good movie or good TV show, it takes the right group of people, the right cast to make a show. And I think a lot of people don't realize how pertinent that really is, which clearly that means you haven't watched TV enough. Just kidding. But I think that's really what it's all about. It's about the group. It's about the people. The show is kind of secondary. It kind of becomes whatever the personas are. So, and you see, like, even on a TV show, a lot of times, if it runs for such a long period of time, obviously there's cast changes and things happen, and for whatever reason, but if you keep the core group or concepts together, it can really still be something wonderful. And you never know how long it'll go for, how long it'll run. So I think that's key from what I've seen from the squad there, which I'm really grateful and glad to be a part of. And I hope I bring something unique that maybe hasn't been done before. I just try to be myself, but I like to be a contributor in that way. So I'm hoping that I can continue to do that and make a difference. So, but I hope anyway.
Yeah, you fit right in, Sam Crow.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I enjoy it. It's really one of those, like, it's just hanging out with the guys and the girls, of course, but it just seems like that glove. It just fits. It was built for me, so I didn't have to try it on, and actually it slipped and it fell right on me. So I'm happy it worked out there. But
man, the guys yesterday, I think we should drink more. Yeah. I will say and again, this is anybody who hasn't heard or know, like, that's not usually my forte. Typically, it's usually special occasions, but I don't, and again, it wasn't super hard for me. I don't go too off the deep end, but I was definitely, after that, I had a second round going, like, yeah, this stuff is really good, and that's where the conversation really gets interesting, and people start to get more personal, and we really start to get comfortable. It's almost like we're hanging out with our pants down. We're just having, like, group chat there. So I definitely enjoy it. Now, do I want to know what happened? Will I remember a lot of it later, but I regret it afterward? Maybe, but it was fun, and I can say, hey, if no one else was offended or hurt, and didn't seem to be, I think that could be like a theme week. Maybe, like, every now and again do like a different round, maybe a different vintage of something everybody partakes in or something like that. That could be a whole new concept right there. There you go. There you go. So back to you and Big Hoss. You guys have some big personalities.
Yep.
Have you guys ever had, like, a heated argument on the show?
Not really. I'm trying to think of a good example where probably the closest we got was and we had another person that would join us occasionally, that we had another friend of ours that we haven't had on for quite a while, but I forget exactly how it sparked, but we were playing with and kind of teasing with Big Hoss there, which it's one of those that kind of, like, starts to get off the track a little bit, and he's kind of pushing back a little bit too, which again, we're having fun, but we could tell at a certain point it was starting to rub him kind of the wrong way too, where I try to, like, when we step in there, try to, like, check the steering wheel and turn it back quickly to try to avoid it from getting super heated. There was sort of that professional etiquette of voicing the displeasure on the airway, which, for those that don't know that, it's like you're voicing your displeasure, but you're not letting the emotional part get the better of you. You're just stating, like, he'll say, well, you don't have to keep picking on it. I get it. Can we not joke about, Big Hoss, etc. That's probably the most closest it's ever got. But usually, I don't know if it would happen. I think because even though we have those unique personalities there, that we do differ from one another, I think the chemistry, though, really just blends to where we are like the proverbial, I think you use that comment, the Laurel and Hardy bit. We just kind of complement one another. Now, naturally, if one of us is having a bad day or an off night, that could obviously rock the boat a little bit. But we've never really had, knock on wood, nothing that has spewed over onto the airway. Again, it's also being super conscious, and typically we haven't normally done it lately, but if we get a chance to talk a little bit pre-show, we kind of see how everybody's doing. We check in, etc. Kind of see where we're at. Kind of like tonight. Unfortunately, Big Hoss couldn't join us. He said, "I want to be there, but I'm not feeling well." I'm like, I understand. I get it. It happens. So at least you kind of get that repertoire, that communication going. So if we keep doing that, I think it'll be fine. But that was probably the closest we ever got. And fortunately, I had the foresight to see it and try to put the fuse out really quick, because it would have got pretty good. We'll put it that way. So hopefully not. We'll see how it goes for the future. But that was probably as close as we got to an on-air fight. But stay tuned, and if you guys really like it and want to see one, we'll sell tickets, and we'll go toe to toe just for your amusement. We like to embarrass ourselves too once in a while. So there you go.
Man, how long have you guys been friends?
We actually, let's see now. What are we in? 2024. It's probably been about, I think this is going on close to year 5 now. Actually, we actually met. I think it was right before, just at the pandemic start back in 2020. And it was, and I know I shared before too, that's how we got our monikers as Sam Crow and the Big Hoss. We met online gaming actually. Started playing the game, and then we started Discord chatting, and then exchanged numbers and emails and all that stuff, and then connected on social media. And it kind of springboarded from there, which then led to a couple of years ago when, and I'll just say this, this is my fond memory from doing that, was the podcast idea. And I had thought about it because I had seen so many during COVID because of everybody being on lockdown and being and trapped in the home, and they just seemed to pop up like weeds or like daisies. There was a podcast for everything, like things you probably wouldn't imagine. I didn't, and let me tell you, I went through a whole catalog. There were some interesting ones, we'll put it that way, or maybe downright weird ones. I clearly could tell people were bored and really cooped up at home. But I thought about that, but I'm like, I don't know if I could do one myself. And then in a clumsy conversation, I think we were texting or chatting one night, I kind of brought that up, and he says, "It's funny you mentioned that. I did one before. I tried, but I had a hard time by myself. I was thinking about doing it, but I didn't want to do one alone." So one thing led to another, and we started developing it. And, once we had one idea, one concept, that it was just going to be the What's Up Bro show. It was one podcast. It was, it was very early on thinking it was just going to be something simple, relaxing. It's a weekend show. People have enough drama and things to worry about during the week. We want to be your comic relief for the weekend. But then it launched into this whole, we had so many things we realized we want to talk about. And, obviously we don't want to have a 3-hour show all the time, because people, the attention span is not that long. So, we broke it up, and, now with partnering with one of our mentors actually, who had their show, we have about 9 shows that run now that we have on the docket, which I never thought was going to happen. And, the artwork that was done, we've had so many great folks that have contributed. We've had some fan things submitted to us, which I think you guys might have seen, like even the website there. Somebody actually, that was a goal of ours, was to have our own website, but was having a hard time even getting that off the ground. And we were contacted. Some company said they saw our work, and they're like, "Hey, we're a podcast friendly website. Here's a mock draft of what we have designed for you. This is yours if you want it. You can go on and claim it." And first we thought it was just spam, because obviously you get junk mail now and again. Didn't take it seriously, but once looked at it, I'm like, this is like surprisingly what we wanted, and we're having a hard time finding, because we could not find the right pieces that we wanted to build a website with. And they had it all laid out, and we claimed that, did some work ourselves, set it up, and it was incredible. So just seeing like the audience participation and the feedback and the follows on social media too, and all of that from 2 guys who got to know each other, just nerds who were gaming, and it just kind of went from there. And then of course, obviously, the rest is history. Meeting up with you guys there and the squad there, and just being on the radio here, it all just happened so quickly in a short amount of time. It's incredible.
Yeah. What game were you guys playing?
We were playing, and this is where I know I was listening to the episode again when I've been on recently, when you asked me about my unique name there. We were playing a game called Bloody Rose California, which is available if you guys want. There's no sponsorship there whatsoever, just so we're clear. But it's available on Google, the Play Store. I think you can get on Apple too for that. But it's basically the knockoff version of Sons of Anarchy, which, and I don't know. Honestly, I said to him, I don't remember how we even started talking. I think we just stumbled because you can either join an MC or you can create your own, which I kind of did. And you meet up other players, whether you battle each other or you can converse. There's global and group chats. People chat all the time. A lot of it's kind of nonsense, but there are some good conversations. But I think I just kind of saw him, and we started talking, and then we talked about merging in the club, and then eventually he did because his club was kind of dying out, and so he joined up with me, and we had a lot of people that came through the door that we were playing with. Like we launched off the ground. We actually. I like to boast this too. We haven't been a while, but a lot of people were flocking to us to help them grow clubs. So basically, we had under our wingspan. So we had our main club was like the CEO founding all these clubs. We had like 20 like charters under us, like all these other small groups. Like they wanted to be affiliated. So it was great. And so just from doing that, like it took off, kind of like with the podcasting. It took off, and it was a lot of fun. And then we started branching off into other games. Like he said, hey, I'm playing this game. Do you want to, join me here? I said, yeah. And then, of course, we hooked up on the PlayStation, did that. So yeah, it kind of it's sort of like the snowball effect, but just from one thing to another. And then, now we have a huge connection with the podcast, obviously. And so it just kind of sparked there, which is incredible. But yeah, we're coming up. It'll be almost 5 years pretty soon, which is hard to believe time flies, so.
Yeah, man. Time definitely flies.
Too fast.
Yeah. So you're married, right?
Yes.
What does your wife think about your podcasting?
She, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know enough to say it's almost like what yours would say, but, I think it's more of I've had her on a few times. We've done a few things, starting out, but kind of one of those, it's just a little too goofy or eccentric kind of thing for me. It's kind of like, I don't understand it. So, if you're doing your own thing, that's fine. I just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense, and I can understand, obviously we're uniquely different in that aspect, but, I try to be, what's a good term for that one there? I try to convey that there. And again, I respect the fact of, obviously she has her likes and dislikes too, which obviously you probably would understand that as well. But I think though, but ultimately for her, it's like, if that's what makes you happy and that's what you want to do, I might not understand it, I might not get it, it might not be what I'm doing, but if it's making you happy, go for it. So which I really value, and I appreciate that, because, it's difficult when you don't have, we talked about it too, even with family too, starting out, and obviously we told a lot of close friends and family this is what we're doing, and people were intrigued, they were curious, they like why, how and what would you do, and I think the biggest hardship was talking about the approach that we do with sometimes no scripting and winging it. It's like how do you make something? It almost sounds like it's just complete dribble. It's not something like a normal show. Like, and I know people have scripts that they write, and that's nothing wrong with that too. But I just always say, when people like family or the wife, saying understand, like it's just we're trying to build our identity for that, and sometimes like a great artist who has a painting where sometimes paint just falls on the canvas, sometimes music for a group, for a songwriter, just happens and the music's there, maybe the lyrics aren't, but it's just like a happy accident. So it's understanding and also being comfortable, because we had to be comfortable with ourselves too. I'm not saying getting backlash from close ones, family and loved ones, but we had to really commit to it. And at first, as I said to you previously, we didn't think it was going to launch or go anywhere. So, and then you start to think, well, were our loved ones right? Should we just drop it, quit it, because it's not really taken off like we hoped. But I got to say too, in all honesty, there was a point where it's like, we're investing a lot, we're doing this, but we're not seeing much of a growth. Is it really worth it? Maybe it's not for us. Maybe it's not And just at that brink of it is when things began to, numbers are trending up, follows are everywhere on social media. We're getting a lot of downloads for episodes. We're seeing, people participate. We're seeing, the globally spread that. I'm getting people like we shared too. I think last one time when we got you guys on our show there, Big Hoss is going out to the convenience store getting recognized, which, he tries to hide, but I'm like, you're not going to be able to do that because people are going to recognize us with our faces being out there. I still yet to have that happen to me. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping. And if you do see me, I'm not unapproachable. I will start to carry 8x10 shots of me with a felt pen. So, if you want an autograph or a selfie, don't be afraid to. But I haven't had it yet. Knock on wood, it hasn't happened. But when that happens, and then I think our family and loved ones say, you know what, now it kind of makes sense, and they're a little bit more open to the idea of why we make fools of ourselves when we do our shows, and why we put time behind it, and what it's really about. And truthfully, at the end of the day, it's just really for us to have that outlet. Everybody needs something to unwind to, something to, a lot like the Pod Squad too. It's just something for everybody to do to kind of get your mind off the day and off the regular activities that we have to do, the boring and humdrum stuff. So, but it's great, and I'm very blessed in that way. For my wife to do that, and for the family too, because my family has shared support of. We've heard some of it. It's really good. You guys seem to have fun with it, so it means a lot, and it really helps us to encourage us to want to keep pursuing it. So, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Like in the beginning, my wife, she was asking me, "What are you doing it for?"
Yeah. Yep. Main question. That's the first one. I don't know why that's the first one, but it is.
And I was like, "Woman, I was doing this before you, and I'll do it after you."
I can't go that far because I'd be sleeping on the couch. I knew enough to hold my tongue on that one, so I had to take the more diplomatic approach when I answered that question.
Now, see, I don't mind sleeping on the couch as long as I get my point across.
See, that's the thing. Like, I'm a huge driver for that, but we are such both type A personalities that it's really. It's a line of we want to get the point across, but we also don't want to be pulling out knives from the kitchen or guns and going back and forth. We don't want to go like full Grand Theft Auto in the house. So it's a hardship. But I get where you're coming from. I'm a big stickler of I've got to have my point, and people will tell you that. That's what a lot of people do not like about me, because I will pound my fist to the cement thing. Like I have to. I don't have to necessarily be right all the time, but I want to get a point across, at least so that and people it's a hollow victory, but hey, I still got my point across. Did I win? Did I end up on the couch? Probably, but at least I got my point across.
Yeah, man. She's like, was it worth it? Yes, it was worth it.
It was. You heard me, and you acknowledged it, and you said you made your point. Boom. I'll sleep on the couch for a week if I have to, yeah.
Nah, I'll sneak back in, but...
Usually, yeah, that's what happens, but,
after the
quietly.
First day, yeah, the second, I'll sleep.
As long as the door's locked, which is not usually, the bedroom door's not locked, so you're good. Yeah, that helps. You're in trouble. If the door's locked, I'm like, oh, okay, so that means she was serious and I really am in trouble, but okay, so...
Let me ask you this. Do you have a pet peeve about your show? Like, I'll start with mine. So, my brother used to ask me, and not just him, but he used to ask me, yo, how was your show? And I would say, you didn't listen? Mm-hmm. He was like, no. I said, well, don't ask me about my show.
And go find out for yourself, yeah.
Listen and find out how it went. No. But, yeah, do you have any pet? Mine is people asking me about how my show went.
Again, there's... Yeah, I think that's one actually that I haven't seen too much. That would be one that would definitely drive me up the wall too if that happened consistently. I think really one of them, if I had to pick one, is again it's just sort of the little nuances of the details. So, what is your topic tonight, or what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, I have an idea, but I'm not sure. You're just gonna you're gonna BS yourself while you're on it. Well, if it happens, it happens. Like it's the idea of I can't explain the creative process, so, but people will ask you that, they want to pick your brain apart. Like, why did you pick this? Why did the show go that way? what were you thinking about that topic? And you were just kind of rambling at the end. I said, well, sometimes it just kind of, again, it happens. And, I would love to say, like, I spend time to develop scripts for that. I would love to say, hey, it's a professional production that we do that. It just kind of, it mutates and it grows. So, and I've often, I kind of defend it by saying that, listen, if whether or not some people understand it or they don't get it, or if, I say it again, do you listen to it? Have you actually listened to it, or are you just basing it off of, like, the titles? Like, people, like, your titles are weird. Or when I put the description of the episode, like, that doesn't make sense. Or why do you? And I always, that's the only thing I sort of kind of put effort into, is I like to have a little theme behind what the title indicates. Because again, it's kind of like drawing people in. They're gonna, in order to suck them in, the title's got to be engrossing. That's gonna let them to want to say, ooh, well, it's like reading a good book. It can't end there. What more do I want to see? So, like, there's a method for that. But yeah, that's probably my biggest one, is just people not maybe getting the creative process and then trying to ask me, and I'm like, I really, unless you're in my head, I really can't explain it to you. And even if I do explain it to you, you still look at me with like a deer in the headlights. Like, it doesn't, like, lights are on but nobody's home. So I'm like, now I just talked for, say, maybe 10 or 15 or 20 minutes. I told you the whole process. Did you retain any of that? And you can hear crickets. I'm like, oh, okay. So basically I was talking to the wall, so... but again, that doesn't easily happen, but there are moments, and it's always at the worst possible. It's like, this is just not the time for this, so that's a big one, I think, for me, though, for sure.
Yeah, I get that too sometimes, and my response is always, are you a podcaster?
Yep.
Are you a content creator? Oh, no. Well,
No.
you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't.
Exactly. Question answered, end of discussion. There you go. You just figured it out for yourself. Boom. What kudos to you.
All right, man. I know you have another show to do, so I'm going to let you go.
Appreciate it.
Do you have any links that you would like for our listeners to visit?
Yeah, the best way to do it, if you want, check out linktree.com/J_J Production Studios. All of these streaming services, like we do on Spreaker, we have Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can check out our YouTube channel is on there. We have our merchandise store if you want some accoutrements, you want all kinds of fun stuff. We have different themes for the different show logos that are there. There's plenty of stuff that you can check out. If you want to listen directly on the website, the actual web address is www.jandjproductionstudios.com. Take you to the website. You can listen to episodes right there. Best place to find us. And of course, at Linktree as well, you'll find all the socials that we're on: Facebook, X, Instagram. We're pretty much across the board. So if you want to find us, we're there. And of course, if you want to subscribe and get your email in there, you can be joining the email list, where you'll get notified every time we list new episodes, new content of the sort. So you can't miss us. That's the best place. If you want to find us, check it out. We'd love to have you become part of the family. And if you are a regular, thank you so much for being there. We couldn't do this without you guys. We appreciate you all. So thank you so much.
All right, listeners, just in case you need those links, I will have them in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you guys have to do is just click the links. Well, thank you so much, Sam Crow. Big Hoss, I know you were supposed to be here tonight, but man, I hope you feel better.
We'll get him back soon. He'll be here. We got to get him here on the squad. It's going to happen. I keep telling him, you're not going to dodge that bullet forever, so...
Man, it almost happened Thursday. That's crazy.
So close. And I told him, so I said, now we learn. This is why indoors is good, with a better connection there, and a quiet place, because then you don't have feedback. But we'll get him there. He's looking forward to it. He liked having you guys on, so he'll fit nicely. And I think once we do that, he'll be plenty comfortable, and then you won't be able to shut him up or get him to go away. He's like a stray cat. He'll keep coming back. So
Big Hoss on the scene.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
All right, Sam Crow. Man, it was a pleasure having you once again and talking to you, and I hope you have a great night.
You too, my friend. It's always a pleasure. I enjoy our time. I look forward to our next time to meet, and that's to all of you guys. And just a last shameless plug, if you guys want a special episode coming up with the What's Up Bro Show tomorrow night, Saturday night, the 24th. Again, check out those links. We will get you updated, but you won't want to miss it. But have a great weekend yourself, Dini, and I will see you on the Pod Squad.
All right, man. Have a great night. Peace.
You too. Take it easy. Later.
Later. Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/only1media group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is only1mediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
Thank you for listening to the What's Up Bro show. Catch all the latest live action on your favorite podcast streaming services, including Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. You can also check out episodes on the studio's official YouTube channel. Subscribe and become a member today. Don't forget to also turn on notifications so you'll know when new content is uploaded. Stay tuned and don't miss a single moment. We love and appreciate all your support. And as always, we will see you at the show.